Today we are reading in the Manual for Teachers. We're starting part 6, Is Healing Certain? And today we will read paragraphs 1 and 2. Healing is always certain. It is impossible to let illusions be brought to truth and keep the illusions. Truth demonstrates illusions have no value. The teacher of God has seen the correction of his errors in the mind of the patient, recognizing it for what it is. Let's go down and read footnote 63. It probably refers to the mind of the patient rather than to correction. The comment that the teacher of God has seen most likely refers to the previous subsection, the function of the teacher of God, which describes God's teachers as healing by reaching out to the truth in the minds of their brothers and seeing no one's will as separate from their own. This is another way of saying that they heal by recognizing the patient's mind for what it is. The logic in the above sentence would therefore mean that since the teacher of God no longer sees his own errors in the patient's mind, he can now see that mind for what it really is. Having accepted atonement for himself, he has also accepted it for the patient. Yet what if the patient uses sickness as a way of life, believing healing is the way to death? Where this is so, a sudden healing may precipitate intense depression and a sense of loss so deep that the patient may even try to destroy himself. Having nothing to live for, he may ask for death. Healing must wait for his protection. Healing will always stand aside when it would be seen as a threat. The instant it is welcome, it is there. Where healing has been given, it will be received. And what is time before the gifts of God? We have referred many times in the text to the storehouse of treasures laid up equally for the giver and receiver of God's gifts. Footnote 64. For some of the more important references to the storehouse of treasures, also called the treasure house, treasury, store, and storehouse, see Chapter 28, Section 3, Workbook 159, and Workbook 136. Those are lessons. The significance of the storehouse for the current discussion is that every time we give a gift, such as a gift of healing, to another, that gift is then securely stored in his storehouse and ours, waiting for the time that he is ready to accept it. Not one is lost, for they can but increase. No teacher of God should feel disappointed if he has offered healing and it does not appear to have been received. It is not up to him to judge when his gift should be accepted. Let him be certain that it has been received, and trust that it will be accepted when it is recognized as a blessing and not a curse. Footnote 65. The gift has definitely been received because it has been laid in the receiver's treasure house. It is like money sitting in his bank account. When it is then accepted into his conscious experience, it is determined by his choice. And that is where we will stop for today in Section 6 of the Manual for Teachers, Is Healing Certain? And tomorrow I will read paragraphs 3 and 4. Thank you so much for joining with me. Have a beautiful day. I love you.